Influencer Ashlee Jenae died during a trip to Zanzibar earlier this month, and now her family is demanding answers. Ashlee's final posts on social media were of her celebrating her birthday with giraffes in Tanzania, Africa, and getting engaged to her boyfriend Joseph McCann. But there's a local report claiming initial investigations determined Ashlee took her own life during the trip after falling out with her fiancé just days after he proposed.
Robinson, according to her family, was a light. She's the oldest of 6. She loved traveling the world. And they told me that they're very confused, honestly, by the lack of transparency about the investigation and the lack of communication from Robinson's fiance.
We're not too sure what happened. That's what we're trying to find out. I got 2 emails today from the embassy in Zanzibar, and it said the investigation is still ongoing. That we have not determined the cause of death yet at all, and the investigation is still ongoing and still pending right now.
Some trips are meant to be the beginning of something. A new chapter, a new life. And from the outside, that's exactly what this looked like. A couple, a beautiful island, a ring, everything you'd expect from a love story heading in the right direction. But sometimes, what a trip looks like and what a trip feels like are 2 very different things. And the people closest to Ashlee Robinson, the woman known online as Ashlee Jenae, will tell you that what came back from Zanzibar was not what they sent off. What came back were questions, silence, and a grief that hasn't found its explanation yet. This is what we know. This is what remains unclear. And this is why it matters. If you're someone who pays attention to the details others brush past, the pauses, the gaps, the moments that don't quite add up, then make sure you subscribe right now, because this story is one where every single detail matters. Ashlee Janae Robinson was not just a name. She was the oldest of 6, a traveler, a light, by all accounts, in the lives of the people who knew her. She grew up in South Jersey. She loved the world, and according to those who knew her best, she loved it loudly. So when word spread that she and her fiancé, identified in reports as Joe McCann, had traveled to Zanzibar, a private, resort-heavy island off the coast of East Africa, it didn't seem out of the ordinary. It seemed like a celebration. According to available sources, the trip is believed to have followed a recent engagement. The setting reportedly fit that story. Quiet villas, private beaches, the kind of place where time is supposed to slow down in the best possible way. And for a brief moment, that may have been true, but according to multiple accounts from individuals reportedly familiar with the situation, the atmosphere behind the scenes may not have matched what was visible on the surface. It's important to note, these are early reports, unverified in parts. The full picture has not been officially confirmed, but the consistency of what is being described makes it difficult to set aside entirely. According to several accounts, the dynamic between Ashlee and Joe is said to have shown signs of strain earlier than might be expected on a trip like this. But here's what stands out.
It was shocking, and it was devastating and scary, honestly, because we don't know what's going on and what happened. The vacation came to us from the hotel Zuri Zanzibar, where they were staying. It didn't come from the hospital or from the police.
Have you guys since spoken to authorities or the embassy?
No.
We've had little contact with the embassy, but no, not with the police.
Ashlee Robinson, she actually was raised locally in South Jersey, and now her death in Zanzibar is making headlines across the world. Well, today we spoke to her family in Delaware, who say they aren't getting answers from her fiancé or officials in Tanzania about what happened.
And everybody says he's lying, and he needs to be investigated.
Those 2 villas were not side by side. Based on descriptions of the property, the walk between Villa 25 and Villa 65 is estimated to take somewhere between 8 and 10 minutes. Not immediate, not within eye line, far enough to create real separation. Close enough that movement between the 2, under the right conditions, would still be possible. And that detail, that distance, becomes important when you look at what reportedly happened next. Authorities have confirmed they are currently holding Joe's passport during the ongoing investigation. The hotel has declined to comment on specific details of what management did or did not do that evening. The investigation, as of the most recent available information, remains open. Around 7:30 in the evening, the timeline becomes very specific. A hotel attendant was making routine rounds. Villa zu Villa. Ordinary work. Nothing unusual. When he reached Villa 25, Ashlee spoke with him briefly. She needed a phone charger, a small request, the kind that happens a dozen times a night in places like this. He handed it over, and before he left, she asked if he could return in about 10 minutes to collect it back. He said he would. He continued his rounds. 10 minutes passed, then 20. When he returned to Villa 25, something was different. He knocked. No answer. He knocked again. Still nothing. And then there was the detail that reportedly stopped him. The lights inside were off. For someone who had just spoken to him, who was expecting him to return shortly. That silence, that darkness, together, something shifted from routine into instinct. According to the report, the attendant used an emergency key to enter. What he found inside required immediate action. Ashlee was found in critical condition, still responsive, but clearly in severe distress. The alarm was raised. Staff responded. Emergency care was initiated. First locally, then at a facility with more advanced support. All had happened quickly. Decisions made under pressure. But the outcome that followed was not what anyone was prepared for. Ashlee Robinson died, and in the aftermath, that 20-minute window between when the attendant left and when he returned became the most examined stretch of time in the entire investigation. 20 minutes. That is the window. 8 to 10 minutes. The estimated walk between Villa 25 and Villa 65. Those two numbers, placed side by side, have not gone unnoticed. Because if the timeline is taken exactly as presented, it creates a frame that feels unusually tight. One that, according to some observers, leaves very little room for interpretation outside of what has already been described. Does that mean something happened that hasn't been fully explained? Not necessarily. Not definitively, but it does raise a question that investigators and observers alike appear to be sitting with. Is 20 minutes enough to rule everything else out? Or is it just enough to make the picture appear complete? Even if a piece is still missing, there's been no official conclusion, no formal assignment of responsibility. Authorities have confirmed the investigation is ongoing. Details may and likely will continue to change. But when a timeline aligns this precisely, it tends to invite scrutiny. Not because scrutiny equals guilt, but because scrutiny is how truth surfaces. There is still more to cover here, including what's been reported about Joe's background and his possible familiarity with the island. Don't go anywhere because that context changes the picture significantly. According to several reports, Joe was not visiting Zanzibar for the first time. Some local sources suggest a prior familiarity with the island, possibly including knowledge of how certain things operated there, and potentially including existing contacts.
This story's been going viral all over the internet. So many people have questions.
Claiming that their initial report said that Ashlee took her own life while on a birthday trip in Zanzibar. And the parents are saying that is not the Ashlee we know. She is not one that would do something like that and harm herself.
Ashlee was later pronounced dead at the hospital, and her family says they have had no communication with her fiancé since. Also, to know, BBC Africa is reporting authorities said Ashlee and her fiancé were reported to have had a disagreement, and the hotel management separated them into different rooms. The hotel wouldn't confirm that part of what authorities had said, but authorities also say they are holding her fiancé's passport during the investigation.
Now, I haven't really heard anything from John. John, I know, has thoroughly been investigated. He's been questioned. I mean, that's another video within itself, so don't go anywhere if you want to stay up to date with what's going on.
It has also been reported that multiple individuals were brought in for questioning in connection with the investigation. This reportedly included hotel staff, as well as people believed to have had some level of connection to Joe during the trip. The scope of those inquiries has drawn attention, because when an investigation expands to involve multiple people across multiple roles, it typically suggests that investigators are not looking at a single isolated moment. They're looking at a wider pattern of interactions, one that may have begun well before the night of July, 7:30 p.m. Additionally, some observers have pointed to reports of a previous marriage and accounts describing tension within that relationship. Those details remain unverified in terms of their direct relevance to the current situation, but they have become part of the broader conversation, not as conclusions, as context. And context, in a case like this, is rarely irrelevant. Behind every timeline, behind every detail, behind every question mark, there's a family. Ashlee's family, The people who knew her longest and loved her most have publicly stated that they are not getting answers. Not from officials in Tanzania, and not from Joe. According to available reports, communication from Ashlee's fiancé to her family came 11 hours after something had already transpired.
Did they relay to you at that time?
Well, the communication came to us from the hotel Zuri Zanzibar, where they were staying. It didn't come from the hospital or from the police.
Have you guys since spoken to authorities or the embassy?
No.
We've had little contact with the embassy, but no, not with the police.
So were you told anything about the manner as to how she passed away or what exactly led up to her passing?
Officially, no, we have not talked to anyone from the police or anybody in the medical field at all. Nothing has been.
What was it that the hotel initially told you guys?
That the person, that Joe McKim, who she was traveling with, that he had found her and that they had taken her to the hospital.
And then a follow-up call from the hotel several hours later.
And I
relaying.
We just think it's very odd that our daughter is traveling with Joe and we don't hear anything from Joe. To me, that's very odd. And initial call that she got from Joe was 11 hours after something had transpired in the room. And that's very odd. 11 hours later,
11 hours.
Something had transpired and Joe just relayed to Yolanda that Ashlee was okay and she was stable and she was okay and don't worry about it.
But that she was at the hospital.
Yes. 11 hours later. Vacation. Yeah.
Wow, shocking. So, you know, as you've seen, the local report said that, had claimed that she took her own life. Did you guys ever think that Ashlee had any mental health issues?
I would think that's farther from the truth. If you go to her page, you know, as you can see, she's a beacon of light. You know, she likes being on, like it's like being in the camera. She was an influencer. You know, she loved
her family.
She loved her family.
She loved her family.
Most of
11 hours. And even then, the information relayed was incomplete. Her father reportedly took the additional step of seeking international assistance, traveling in an effort to involve U.S. officials and facilitate communication with authorities abroad. That is not the action of a family at peace with what they've been told. That is the action of a family that knows something is missing. The embassy has confirmed the investigation is still ongoing. No cause of death has been officially determined. Nothing, as of the most recent available reporting, has been formally closed. And so the family waits. When you step back from the timelines, the villa numbers, the distances, the windows of time, what you're left with is something much simpler. A woman who was loved, who was a light, who was the oldest of 6 children who are now trying to understand how a celebration became a tragedy. Ashlee Jenae Robinson deserved answers while she was alive. Her family deserves them now. Whatever the investigation ultimately confirms or does not confirm, that truth does not change. Some stories don't end loudly either. Sometimes the silence after is the hardest part to explain. To Ashlee's family, our deepest respect and our sincerest condolences. May the truth find its way to you, and may it come soon. If this kind of thoughtful, detail-driven coverage matters to you, subscribe and stay with us. We follow these stories the way they deserve to be followed. Carefully, respectfully, and all the way through. This content is produced for informational, educational, and commentary purposes only, based entirely on publicly available sources at the time of publishing. No individual mentioned is presumed guilty or responsible unless officially confirmed by relevant authorities. All referenced investigations remain open and active. Details presented here may change as new information becomes available. This script does not intend to accuse, defame, or cause harm to any individual or organization. Viewer and reader discretion is strongly advised given the sensitive nature of the subject matter.
What is the last update you got on your daughter's death?
We haven't had a first update yet. That's
the only thing was a brief email from the embassy stating that the investigation was ongoing. That's it.
And one thing that we did reach out. We would like to know about the footage at the hotel. Was there any footage? Did you look at the footage? Did you see the footage? These are things that's very important to us. These are things that can clear everything up. It gives us the timeline. It lets us know what happened. We have not seen or heard or even anything about any kind of footage surveillance. No. These are things that we need to know.
How are you guys feeling right now?
Devastated.
Lost.
Devastated, lost. A lot of unanswered questions.
Did you guys meet him before this trip, or did he ask you for her hand in marriage before proposing?
Yes. We have met him.
Yes.
Thank you so much, you guys. Is there anything else you want to add? I know a lot of people are wanting to hear from you and probably have just as many questions as you guys do at this time.
I was just going to add that we just want the answers to the questions that we're asking and that everyone's asking. We need help getting information, and that's really what we're asking for.
Yes, and that's the reason why we went to social media on Sunday. We had to get it out there because this happened on Thursday, and nothing was out there, like nothing was talked about, nothing was there. So that's why, hey, this is what happened. This was our daughter. Everyone needs to know what happened, and that's why that was Sunday.
Boyfriend, taking glamorous pictures, spending time with animals, and even being proposed to during the trip. A week later, everybody's wondering what happened after a woman named Savannah Britt came to Twitter to share this shocking message. She wrote, "We need justice for my friend Ashlee Jenae, who was found dead in her hotel in Tanzania, and her fiance, Joe McCann, claims she hung herself. And anyone who knows Ash knows she would never commit suicide."
They say she was happy, she was excited about life and looking forward to her future. So now you got two completely different narratives.
Son works at the hotel, and basically he witnessed Joe and Ashlee getting into a fight because supposedly Joe was cheating on Ashlee with the women in Zanzibar. I guess he's known to have women out there, which would make sense why they would fight like that.
Now to a growing mystery, the death of a lifestyle influencer, Ashlee Robinson, better known online as Ashlee Jenae, just days after popping the question overseas her fiancé.
Her 31st birthday. Her boyfriend of about a year and a half, Joe McCann, proposed to her on the trip, but last week something went terribly wrong. Police say Robinson was found unconscious in her villa and was rushed to the hospital where she later died. Now her parents tell me they received a call from McCann, the boyfriend, acknowledging that something had happened. But they say